All right, everybody, welcome back. Today, we're going to be taking a deep dive into a topic that I know is near and dear to a lot of you out there, and that is buying your first home.
Oh, yes.
It's a big one.
Huge.
And we asked you guys to send in some articles and resources and things that you've been looking at as you're going through this process. And one of the ones that really stood out to us was this excerpt from Rent Lelo Real Estate called Five Common Mistakes First-Time Homebuyers Should Avoid.
Yeah. That's a good one.
I mean, obviously it's coming from,
Yeah.
a real estate company website, so there's a little bit of, promotion in there.
Sure.
But I think the core advice is really solid.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're going to kind of dive into that and really, unpack some of those common mistakes and how you can avoid them.
Yeah, because buying your first home can be so exciting.
No,
You're
yeah.
looking at all these houses, you're thinking about decorating and moving in,
Yeah.
but it's a huge financial decision, and there's some things you got to watch out for.
Yeah. And I think, one of the things that I've definitely been guilty of in the past is just kind of getting swept up in like the emotion of it all.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I'm talking about the pretty house syndrome.
Oh, the pretty house syndrome, that's a classic.
You walk in and you're like, oh my gosh, look at these, beautiful hardwood floors and this like amazing kitchen.
The granite countertops and the stainless steel appliances. Yeah.
Yeah. And you totally forget to think about, is this actually the right layout for me?
Right.
Does it have enough storage space? Is the location, convenient for my commute?
Right. And that's where the buyer's remorse sets in later on.
Yep.
When you realize, oh, this house is beautiful, but it's not actually functional for my life.
Totally. And I think that kind of leads into the first big mistake that Rent Lelo talks about, which
Yeah.
is, not doing enough research beyond just liking how a house looks.
Absolutely. They actually recommend this in the article, and it's such a crucial step
Yeah.
because you got to think about things like, okay, what's the neighborhood like? Is it safe? Are there amenities nearby, like parks and grocery stores and restaurants?
Right. How close is it to my work, to schools, to public transportation, all that stuff?
Exactly. And then, on top of all that, you got to be thinking about market trends and property values.
Yeah. How do you even like figure that stuff out?
Well, there are tons of resources available online these days.
Oh,
You can check local crime statistics. You can use websites that track property value trends.
wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And, even just driving around the neighborhood at different times of day can give you a feel for the area.
Right. Just to get a sense of what it's like.
Rent Lelo also suggests connecting with a local real estate agent because they really know the area inside and out.
That makes sense. Yeah. Somebody who's like boots on the ground there.
Exactly. They can give you the insider scoop.
So it's really about doing your due diligence.
Yes.
Protecting yourself, down the line
Absolutely.
from that, buyer's remorse.
And that leads us to another big mistake that people often make, and that is not getting pre-approved for a mortgage.
Oh, yeah.
So many people just start house hunting without really knowing how much they can afford.
Yeah. And can you imagine finding like the perfect house?
Your dream home.
Yeah. And then you're like, oh, shoot, I can't actually afford this.
It's heartbreaking.
Devastating.
But getting pre-approved is not just about knowing how much you can borrow.
Okay.
It actually puts you in a much stronger position as a buyer.
How so?
Well, for one thing, it shows sellers that you're serious and that you're ready to go.
Okay.
They're more likely to take your offer seriously if they know you've already been pre-approved.
Makes sense.
And it can also help you negotiate a better interest rate with lenders
Oh, really?
because it shows them that you're a qualified borrower and that you're a good risk.
So it's almost like having a golden ticket.
Exactly. It gives you leverage.
Okay. So we've done our research. We've gotten pre-approved now. Let's talk about, I think, what might be the scariest part for a lot of first-time buyers,
Yep.
and that is the hidden costs.
Yes, the things they don't always tell you about in those glossy real estate brochures.
Right. Like what kind of costs are we talking about here?
Well, there are a lot of costs associated with buying a home that go beyond just the purchase price.
Okay.
And these can really catch first-time buyers off guard.
Like what, for example?
Well, for starters, there are closing costs.
Closing costs.
Yeah, these are fees that are paid at the closing of the sale, and they can include things like loan origination fees, title insurance, appraisal fees,
Oh, wow.
and all sorts of other things.
I bet a lot of people don't even realize those fees exist
Right.
until they're like sitting there signing the papers.
Exactly. And these costs can range from 2 to 5% of the purchase price.
Oh, wow. That's significant.
Yeah, so it's definitely something you need to factor into your budget.
Oh, okay. So closing costs. What else?
Well, then you've got property taxes, which vary depending on where you live,
Right.
and homeowners insurance, which is also a must-have.
Of course.
And then don't forget about ongoing maintenance costs.
Oh, yeah. Maintenance. I always forget about that.
It's easy to overlook, but, things break roofs, leak appliances need to be replaced. It can really add up.
So it's like you need to have a financial cushion, not just for the down payment,
Yeah.
but also for all these potential surprise expenses.
Absolutely, a rainy day fund for your house.
Exactly. And RentLelo actually has a really helpful tool on their website for this.
Oh, yeah.
It's a cost calculator that you can use to estimate these hidden costs.
That's a great resource.
Yeah, so definitely check that out.
And speaking of resources, there's one more really important thing that we need to talk about, and that is the home inspection.
The home inspection.
Yes, this is absolutely crucial.
Okay.
You might think that just doing a quick walkthrough of the house is enough.
Right.
But trust me, a professional home inspection is worth its weight in gold.
What kind of things are they looking for?
They're looking for any potential problems with the house. Things like structural damage, hidden water damage, faulty wiring, plumbing issues.
Wow, so they're really going like deep.
Yeah, they're trained to spot things that you might never notice.
That's amazing.
And, I have a friend who actually used a home inspection to uncover a major foundation issue
Oh, wow.
that would have cost them a fortune to fix down the line.
That's incredible.
So it's really about peace of mind,
Absolutely.
knowing that you're not buying a lemon.
All right, so to recap, the 5 big mistakes to avoid when buying your first home.
Okay, let's hear it.
Number 1, don't just fall in love with the pretty pictures. Do your research.
Yes, research.
Number 2, get pre-approved for a mortgage.
Shows you're serious and it gives you leverage.
Number 3, remember to budget for those hidden costs.
Closing costs, property taxes, homeowners insurance maintenance.
Number 4, think about function over form.
Don't let those hard eyes blind you.
And number 5, always get a home inspection.
Peace of mind.
All right. So much great advice in there. And honestly, even though it came from, a real estate company website, I think it's really valuable for anyone who's going through this process.
Absolutely. It's all about being informed and empowered as a buyer.
Couldn't agree more. And remember, Rent Lelo has tons of other great resources on their website, so definitely check those out.
Yeah, they have some great articles and tools.
Now, before we go, I want to leave you with one final thought to ponder.
Okay, I'm listening.
Researching the seller's motivations for selling
Oh, interesting.
can actually offer some really valuable insights into the property and even give you some negotiation leverage.
That's a great point. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, it's like, why are they selling? Are they moving out of state? Did they get a new job?
Right. Maybe they're in a hurry to sell.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that could work in your favor.
That's definitely something to consider.
So there you go. Happy house hunting, everyone.
Best of luck.
And remember, knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.